Hi, everyone, and thanks for checking out the Tortured Souls channel. I didn't feel like doing this tonight, as this is my first night kicking pills and tobacco. I was going to edit and decided against it, as I think raw footage is as close to truth as film gets. Editing not only would have taken hours, but also would transmit lies as opposed to truth, which is what the world has enough of. I voice recorded the 3 clips this afternoon in real time you're about to hear, and am listening to you and am listening to them for the first time just as you are. You don't know me from Adam's house cat, but you will find, if you continue to tune into this channel, I'm brutally honest. I only say this as my life choices, as you will learn, are not indicative of the person you see before you. Anyone has the ability to change if you're willing to do the work. And here's the first voice clip. I did this one this afternoon.
So, if anybody's going through any kind of withdrawals, any kind of like trying to kick something, opiates is what I'm speaking of specifically, because that's what I'm recording from, coming off of right now as part of my New Year's resolution. I also have a belief in Jesus, but I wasn't calling out to them today. I literally just wanted to stay in bed and die. Anyways, I got up, my head's hurting, runny nose, stomach's turning, bones hurting, all that kind of stuff. And what I noticed is when I started moving, actually now, from even 10 minutes ago, I feel great. And then it dawned on me that it's in the movement. You've got to process that stuff out of the body. The world would want to have you believe that you just lay in bed and suffer through it. That's not the case. You lay in bed and suffer through it. Only thing that's going on is that it's staying on your mind in hopes that you wind up saying, screw this, I'd rather be an addict. Not the case. You get up moving. The world isn't being stagnant. Watching TV, keeping people thinking for themselves. Keeping people from thinking for themselves and letting other people do the thinking. God is in movement. I've noticed that. My best thoughts always come when I'm riding the bike or if I'm walking or something like that. Maybe some of you have worked out. Maybe some of you have experienced the same thing. Because I always seem never to have a pen and paper or something. So what I did is I threw a recorder on my phone, of which I'm using now. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Some of you may hate God. Some of you may have lost your faith in God. Some of you may think that God doesn't want to hear from you. I've experienced all these. So, and I didn't even pray before going through this, but what I noticed is getting up and moving, and how these two tie together I'll explain, but what I noticed is getting up and moving around, I actually feel like 10 times better. Don't have any more runny nose. And I'm not talking about going and running laps. I simply actually got up to switch a cooktop out for somebody in their kitchen while I was initially on my way to get some McDonald's French fries, of which I'm now not going to get. But just pulling that cooktop out and now going to replace it with another one, that little bit of movement, I now feel like 10,000 times better. Lots of water too. Key, water. Water is going to keep flushing the system, but I didn't even go that far. I might have drank 1 bottle of water so far, but this is a work in progress. Anyways, so with that being said, try it. And it doesn't have to just be opiates. I don't care if it's anything that, because I'm normally a crack person in alcohol. Got about 60 days clean on those, though I feel that it would work for anything. But if you want to do something, if you want to see if God still loves you, if you want to see God is real, shoot a prayer up first and just say that. Say, God, if you're real, or God, if you still love me, or God, if you're not forsaken me, or whatever the case may be, help me get through this. But you've got to stay in movement. And I'm not talking about you're going to start seeing, or at least I did. We'll keep it in an eye perspective. I started seeing results I wasn't even looking for, because I really just wanted to go home and lay back in bed. You see how fast I'm even talking now. All of a sudden I've had this breakthrough with a sudden burst of energy. with that being said, I don't know, get up and just start working. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt. You're going to cuss me. I'm going to be full of crap. I'm going to be all kinds of stuff, but give it 10, 15 minutes. I promise, will start seeing positive results. Some people that have on higher dosages or heavier, amounts, whatever the case may be, you may have to put forth a little bit more effort, and effort meaning just walk a little bit more. And even if you get exhausted, stop, but don't give up. Guarantee you will probably cut down. I can tell you what happened for me in a matter of 15 minutes, and I was on like 3Ds a day, snorting them. Nothing, not like nothing crazy, but there again, it wasn't ever my MO. Try it and see what happens, and then post your results down below. Peace be with you all. And there again, like I said, I can only imagine how much faster. And I just asked for a little help from God, whom I choose to call Jesus, of which I didn't even do that part. But like I said, if you don't believe, used to believe, quit believing, fear that the church will fall on you, hate him, whatever the case may be, try it. But you have to, with anything, you've got to put forth effort. It's not going to nothing happens, nothing falls in the lap. This isn't something where it's practice to become a guitarist. This is simply, I feel like crap and I want to feel better. So let me help myself get out of the crap that I put myself into in the first place. Take some ownership, put your big boy pants on, and walk it off. Rub some dirt on it, walk it off. Thank you.
All right, and so then I did this one, not even. It's not near as long. I'm not trying to hog time, but then this one I did I would think maybe 40 minutes later.
Part 2. So I just jumped in the car to come back to the house and started feeling kind of like crap again. Now I'm here, so I got up and I started moving again. So listen, this is not for wussies. And if you're as sick or miserable of feeling how you feel or doing what you do, then you're not going to get any results. A champion is somebody that overcomes pain, that doesn't overcome pain, but works through the pain. That's what a champion is. So I'm back to walking again, and my nose had started running when I got in the car. Started feeling a little crappy. I got back here. I'm starting to walk around again, out back, and there it's starting to subside again. So I can see, and if nothing else, it definitely takes the focus off of just laying there and wallowing in my misery. So the movement, action, definitely takes the mind off of it. And I know one thing, when I used to work out and I was like sore, that was one of the greatest feelings I had, because I knew that I had done something when I was sore. But working through that soreness, like going back to the gym or whatever the case may be, which I'm not a big fan of, working that soreness out, same kind of a principle. This is something totally different. And as I said, I know that if you are watching this, that you have to be miserable in what you and how you were living. Sorry, that was a phone call. Anyways, this is my first excerpt of a channel that I also plan on starting. Welcome to Tortured Souls. Have a lot more to discuss, and may peace be with you all, and work through it. It will get better. And this is day one of cutting out black and mild wines and dilaudid. So, in fact, this is the morning after well, in the morning after New Year's Eve. So go figure. All right. Thank you for letting me share.
And then this is the last album. This is it. And then I wound up eating and crashing, and here I am now, and I'll explain that in a second.
Also, negative talk will kill anything before you've ever even attempted it, and to the point where you won't even bother trying because you've already made it up in your mind that it's not going to work or that you failed. I forgot that I have been doing other things as well, so I needed to add a few things. And with there being a flip side of every coin, or a left to every right, or an up to every down, positive self-talk will do the exact opposite. You will have succeeded prior to even starting because you've already made up your mind that you're going to succeed. So I also have to add this, that I never associated with my drug use, my criminal behavior, or anything. I never really associated any kind of God or devil in my life. The devil was a lot more easier to accept, though, for the fact that I didn't want to change, and the crap I was doing was pretty evil. So it became a lot easier for me once I gave a face to everything that was bad. Everything that was evil, if you just put a D in front of evil, you have the devil. Everything that is of God, which is good, you just add an extra O in God, and you've got good. And then when I gave things a face, as opposed to saying, oh, my addiction, no, I started seeing it for what it really was, the devil, of which comes to kill, steal, and destroy. He's not happy unless we're dead. And even then, he's still not happy, just a miserable bastard. But anyways, back to where I was at. So, stay hydrated. That's imperative. And when you get tired, go in, lay down, and go back to sleep. Or walk a little, lay down, and go back to sleep. Because your body repairs itself with nutrition. This is how your mind and your body repair themselves. They repair themselves with nutrition and with sleep. Those two things are imperative, but stay hydrated. Keep drinking water. I'm probably going to take a bike ride after I eat, or actually I'm probably going to take a nap, but it started coming on me. So I figure, you know what, just go back to sleep, let my body repair itself. I didn't realize how much damage I had done in the little bit that I was using until I went to quit. And believe me, I've been deep into the grips of addiction and the pits of hell. Also didn't realize how cool God was until I actually took the time to meet him and did it for myself, as opposed to jumping on bandwagons and convicting something prior to my own investigation. Meaning, stayed closed-minded because it fit what I wanted to do better. Until I was open to wanting to have a life, I stayed miserable. And now I'm working through the misery, which happens super fast for me. But everything we've been taught or led to believe is bullshit. They just want to give you another medication to get you off of what you're already on, but it still keeps me in the vicious cycle. And now I'm not addicted to that anymore. I'm just addicted to something else, as opposed to just working through the pain. As with anything, I'm sure everybody has something that they love doing in their life, and they know that it didn't just happen overnight. They may not have noticed. It may have felt like that because they were passionate about it, and it came easy. And it's hard to get passionate about getting off of anything. But I can tell you what, there is a lot easier way to do it, and it's just to work through it. So, I hope this works for you. Hope this helps. And again, post it at the bottom. I'll be This is my first I don't know, episode or whatever you want to call it. And I'll see you when I go to post.
So that was it, those 3 clips. And then I came out and wrote this. This was a few hours back because I ate, crashed, and the bike ride never happened. Then I came out and I scribbled something right quick. It said, get up and move. Me laying here feeling sorry for myself or trying to garner sympathy for my hell is BS. I got myself into this. Now it's time that I get myself out of it. Don't get it twisted. It still sucks, but it sucks less if I do something, and even less when I talk about it. So keep drinking lots of water, eat something real to restore what's been depleted, and sleep. I made a commitment to put something out there I thought useful for the people I understand most, in hopes that maybe it would help or prevent even one person from 1 hour of pain and misery. I put myself 1 hour of pain or misery I put myself through. A wise person learns from a fool's choices. Don't be a fool. Not only will you experience the same pain and misery, or worse, you'll also go through the torture of beating yourself up for making the same choice, just as I've done a big part of my life. You're now charged with the knowledge, and the only thing that's truly priceless is time. Don't waste any more of it. If by the grace of God you don't die, you wind up at 48 renting a room in your mother's house, which is still better than the streets or jail. And it's kind of where we're at. And I wasn't going to post anything. I got one last thing that I was going to just to do this. Read Kenneth Copeland's devotional, and this was actually pretty good. It's a Happy New Year for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Romans 10:13. Today, people everywhere are gathering together to celebrate the first bright moments of the new year. Yes, for thousands of others, this day will be the toughest 24 hours of their life. For those people, New Year's Day will serve only as a dim reminder of loneliness and loss. It will simply mark the beginning of another year of failure. What about you? What's the year really going to be like for you? You may appear to be happy enough. You may be passing out seasonal smiles and holiday greetings just like everyone else. But inside you may hurt. You may be disappointed. You may even feel like you can't go on. If so, I want you to know something. All of that can change in an instant. You can start your life over today and make this New Year's Day the most joyful day of your life. How many times have you said to yourself, if I could just start over, I'd do it all differently? That doesn't have to be simply an idle wish. Jesus Christ has actually made it possible. That's his Christmas present to you. He paid the price for all your sins. He paid the penalty for all your mistakes. That's the reason he came to earth. That's the reason he was born, so you could start over. You may look at your life and say, but I've made some terrible mistakes. I've done some despicable things. That doesn't matter. Jesus paid the price for them all. How can you make a new start? Romans 10:9 says that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. It's as easy as saying, Jesus, I'm turning my life over to you. From this day forward, I'm yours. What better time to turn your life around than on this first day of the new year, right now, wherever you are, just give your life to Jesus, then jump up and down and holler, praise God, I'm starting all over. And find out what it really means to have a happy new year. And the one last final thing I'll leave you with, that I can attest to, because I've been through countless rehabs. I'll do mine. I'll give some of my story. Anyways, prisons, ICUs, everything. If it were not for Jesus, there would be no me. This video would have never happened. May peace be with you, and have a great new year. Hope to see you again.